Okay, hello again. Is this recording? Oh my gosh, I'm such a noob. Okay. Today I'm gonna talk about how to do shading on the skin on Paint Sai. This also applies to paper if you can figure it out. I mean, it's not that hard, you just change the shades, pretty much. I already have something I drew earlier, it's just a quick sketch, and I already did the hair, that way it wouldn't look weird when it's done. So on Paint Sai, usually you need to find your color. Most people will find a color they like. See, like this color, and then you can go here, left click, and then set. That means you'll always have that color. You never have to find it again if you need it. Because sometimes you're like, oh, I love this color, and then you won't save it, and you can never find it again because, at least I can't. So that's what I do. And I've saved all my favorite skin color types. I try to vary it so that way I can frequently change it out. Now usually I start kind of with an airbrush, that way you don't have pencil where you're having to sit there and color it in and it's all sketchy. So you go to airbrush, that way it gets a nice light dusting. I go bigger at first because I'm lazy, but if you want to be more precise, then go ahead. I will make mistakes because I'm using the bigger one and I'm just lazy like that. It's okay if you cover your details a bit, just make sure you don't forget them, because that would be bad. Later you can go over them with a darker skin color. And then I go smaller when I want to get more in detail, and I zoom in. You don't have to be too precise, because that'll be for later. So as long as you get the main gist of it, Because later we'll smooth that out, so just, be like, blah. I'm just going to do the face, or maybe this part here, sure, why not? Again, I'm being very lazy with this, so take your time. Art's not something you have to rush. I just like rushing my art because it makes me feel like I'm a master, I can get this done real fast. No, I can't. Alright. Now that it's all sloppily done, which is okay, it's still the beginning process, you don't have to worry that. When you go into more detail, you want to start smaller. Now, you'll always want to do a darker color near your hair because your hair obviously creates shadows and it contours your face a bit, so you want to start darker as you go down. Go down to about halfway between the bridge of the nose. And depends on your light source. Like, let's say the light source is from here, then you would want to put all the dark sides over here, like over this way. And I'll totally Control-Z that. So, yeah, you can press Control-Z and it'll undo your latest action, in case anyone didn't know that. But see, I'm going to say the light source is coming from here. So I'm just going to say this side will be darker. But I'll leave this side of the face a bit lighter, so that means I'll shade this part of the neck. Also because his chin shadows it just a little bit. See, since he's a guy, he has a little bump, I forgot what it's called, so you may want to outline that just a little bit. Not so that's like obvious and you're just like, ugh. And you want to make muscles like that too, because usually they have definition. So that's what I do. People deal with it different ways, but I'm not too hidey about it. I don't like hiding the muscles, or blending it in, but that's just me personally. Now, when you want to make your art look smoother, click the water button. It's right... Oh, I need to use pen, because it's right here. Oh, lordy, it's too... Yeah, it's right there, about-ish. Click water. Make sure it's a small one. See how it perfectly blends the colors together? Water is best for that. That way you can blend the skin colors. That way it, smooths in with the lighter colors, so it's not just, from light color to bam, darker skin. Whoa, what happened? Now... smooths up. And see, if when you were sloppy earlier, it also smooths out where there's white. It replaces it with the color that's surrounding it. So that's always nice. Now for things like this, yeah, you want to use pencil because, you don't want to airbrush that. I left a few spots out, but that's okay. Don't forget the ear needs to be a bit darker because, all them holes in the ear. Yeah, all them holes. Okay, now, oh, what you doing, girl? Oh, what you doing? Okay. I just complicated things for myself. I'm sorry. Okay. Just remember, don't stress things too much. That's why if you're on digital or if you're on paper, there's things called erasers. And if you're on here, there's Control Z. If I were you, I would save every now and then. That way, if you're like, it looked better before, but I don't want to Control Z because I liked some of the stuff I did, you can save it. Like, I have 10 copies of this version, the finished product, and my process through it, because then if I didn't like something I did, I can just be like, oh, I can go back to process 9, and I don't have to do everything again, but I only have to do the stuff I didn't like again. Now we're going to go to our darkest color. We're going to do very little of this, so make your airbrush really small. Because see, this is the darkest part of where his hair is, because it's pretty dark down there. I mean, you can, if you want, some people like to use black or gray, and they just mix that in, but I prefer doing like skin colors to show shadows, but that's just me. If you want to do whatever, you do whatever. You can do little muscles there too. It's like, oh yeah. Okay. Don't forget your water tool. Just like you made the darker color, you'll have to small it a bit so you don't accidentally blend the gray in. Because look what happens when you blend the gray in. Oh, that's nasty, isn't it? Alright. So, blend that ear a bit. Now you're like, this looks awful. No, it doesn't. It looks beautiful. Trust me. And I guess if you wanted to try gray, you could, but I feel like it just looks too unnatural, and besides, my character has gray hair, so, I mean, But, you can darken it up a bit there, I guess, if you wanted, like, yeah. But I see, to me, it just doesn't look right. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong, but I was taught. You know? Yeah. And again, you always do water to blend. That's just my motto. It's always water. Because, see, look, it just kind of looks weird to me. Kind of like he has just, like, maybe a black hole on the edge of his hair. Nah, I like my skin better. So let's undo that. Alright. Next, if you want him to be a pale character, then I'll just leave it be right here. And you would pretty much be done right about now. But if you want to add a little bit of blush, I think that's perfectly understandable. After all, he is alive, despite the fact that he may look dead. He's just sleeping, I promise. I wouldn't do anything dark like this. No, I would not. See, it looks light, but I mean, look how blotchy it looks after a while. It looks pretty blotchy after a while, so I don't like using that. And when I do airbrush it, I make it bigger. That way it doesn't blotch as much. See, look. It's a nice fine layer. Oh, no, not after you do it too much. So I go for the lightest color I can, and I just gently work it in a bit. But again, you can actually do water with this if you want, but I prefer airbrush. So you make the airbrush bigger. See, if that's too light for you, then you can go a bit darker, because airbrush lightens things. That's why I feel like paint's just a... That's why I think water's a bit better. See, like, you can work it in. And it kind of looks a bit natural. I mean, it's very hard to get, though. Depends on your character. Like, do you just want a little bit of blush? See, I make it very unnoticeable, but enough that he looks alive. You don't want it to be all too sloppy. And, I mean, you can add more if you think he's a really red-faced character. I mean, all power to you. See, look. Look how alive he looks now. It looks like he's breathing, he's not dead. It's always nice to have. So, I guess that's about it for this tutorial. If you guys want something else to look at, or you want help on something else, just ask. I'm still pretty new to Paint Sai myself, hence the scraggly looking hair, and I have a cheap tablet I use for this. It's called Via Tablet. It was only like 20 bucks, so I don't have those cool ones where you can look down at what you're looking at. So, but yeah, that's how I do it, and this is the final product. If you like this, please subscribe. We can have more videos, and thanks for watching.